25 years ago, that was the scenario, that people did not understand technology and we had to explain the benefits of technology. 10 years ago, people were clear about the benefits of technology, which did not mean that they understood or would be proactively attempting to solve them. So understanding benefits is one thing, and believing that you can solve that problem using technology is a separate puzzle. That's where the advantage of a knowledgeable partner comes in. So from a customer's perspective, the knowledgeable partner is their technology supplier who helps them understand how and why, what parts of technology are relevant. See, the technology landscape is a very explosive landscape, and for any given business, the relevant components need to be identified, which a businessman is unlikely to be able to do because he is an expert in his business, he is not an expert in the technology space. So what we did well and we try to keep doing well is being this friend and friendly advisor to the business on helping them understand that why technology would be good for them and what parts of it would be good for them, including telling why and when technology is not good for them, that they should not over automate, because sometimes over automation creates more problems than automation. And we have been now on the flip side of it very fortunate to have our own partner ecosystem which has resonated with this sentiment, and therefore they have become that friendly business advisor to customers at large, and that's really how we solve this puzzle. See, there is a technology landscape trend which is bringing mobiles and tablets into mainstream, which SMEs are not yet being able to take advantage of, because it's not easy to understand how you can bring business software onto the on such devices and make use of it across the employee space that you have got. From an software adoption perspective, in some ways many things have not changed, because people still require that guidance to say what software can be used, should be used, and why it should be used, and what should not be used. That part of the journey continues where it is. The bottlenecks are the number of people who can engage effectively. So even if you go beyond Tally as a company, if you talk about software in general, the number of people who are willing to spend that time with the SMB to ensure that they have effective adoption is really the biggest bottleneck in any of these emerging markets, and therefore it becomes an opportunity for people who do that well. The IT channel was born in the boom of hardware, and therefore were groomed into how to take hardware to the customer, and then they faced the massive challenge of the customer started becoming a self-aware customer because access to information increased. So value addition on top of IT was that whichever channel players have adopted that early, they became the early success, and now more and more people are recognizing the advantage of taking software as a value addition on to their customers. So the challenge really is first bringing that mind shift change, that how do I shift from a box environment of hardware to a engagement environment of software, and once they make the transition, it is a very attractive environment for them. So in the last 5 years, we have been building engagements with our partners to first get them to understand these fundamental principles of engagement, which is actually product agnostic. It doesn't matter whether you are selling a printer, you are selling Tally, it doesn't matter. You have to learn, get the advantage of what does an engagement based business mean, and because of that engagement, how you are able to not just attract but retain customers on a continuous cycle. So we have been investing deeply in that activities. Then you have got Tally specific training, that once you have understood this methodology for doing business, which is more systematic, how can you be empowered and enabled on a product like Tally, which has got a diversity of potential customers, and be able to take them to the market. See, today if you look at our products and services that we provide in the marketplace, they are oriented towards the slightly upper end of the small and slightly lower end of the mid-sized businesses, and that's where we have been, that's been our sweet spot. In the coming years, we will be bringing technologies which are relevant to the lower end of the pyramid also, which is the small of the small as well as the micro segment, and we will be bringing products which are relevant to the slightly upper end of the spectrum also. So from an audience perspective, that is the spread that we will be addressing, and that needs tend to be a little unique. So that's how we are looking at Tally being able to bring its deeper understanding of how to handle diversity of customer base and making technologies which are relevant to each diversity such that their business grows. From the beginning of time, it has always been that a businessman should not be worried about whether they are using Tally or not. They should be worried about whether they are doing their business or not. So now how do you bring technology such that the advantage of the technology is felt in their lives? So that's what hopefully we will keep doing well.